say that you're using the relevant authorities, what authorities are they?
Well, we have various forms of legal process we can serve on companies that will allow us to get access.
And that's been done?
Well, we're using a lot of legal process in connection with the investigation, so yes.
But specifically serving process on companies invoking your various legal powers to get data from companies, that's been done in the case of gathering this data?
In gathering metadata, Again, I don't know the specifics, but I feel confident that has happened because metadata is often something that we look at, and we have a variety of legal tools that allow us to do that under certain circumstances.
How are we going to know what you are doing with it, and how are we going to evaluate the Bureau's conduct if we don't know what authorities you're invoking, what precisely you're doing, what you're retaining? I mean, this is, you said to him repeatedly you weren't familiar with the specifics. You've now said it to me. I don't know. I'm not sure how this committee is supposed to evaluate anything that the Bureau is doing. You're basically saying just trust us. I mean, how are we going to know? Do we have to wait till the end of your investigation to find out what you've done?
Well, certainly I have to be careful about discussing an ongoing investigation, which I'm sure you can appreciate.
All parties involved in the new online censorship regime, which is absolutely destructive and terrible, and to aggressively prosecute any and all crimes identified. These include possible violations of federal civil rights law, campaign finance laws, federal election law, securities law, and antitrust laws, the Hatch Act, and a host of other potential criminal, civil, regulatory, and constitutional offenses. To assist in these efforts, I am urging House Republicans to immediately send preservation letters, and we have to do this right now, to the Biden administration, the Biden campaign, and every Silicon Valley tech giant, ordering them not to destroy evidence of censorship.
You know, President Trump, in his bullet points, made it clear of how we can clear the air, right? And my listeners have been amazing. They all sent data retention letters to every single social media company and government agency pertaining to their social media accounts and said, look, we're looking at possibly filing a class action suit or a lawsuit. Anyone who's communicated using my information, you know, you need to retain those records. And they sent it to the DOJ, ODNI, NSA, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all of them, and said, hold the records. Do not destroy that information. Because you know what's funny? You remember at J6 how the banks just gave away people's data to the Fed? Why didn't anyone sue the banks? The banks can't give away your information, freely without a warrant specific to you. There's laws about that, right? And I checked with my bank and they already responded to me that they didn't. And someone would say they would lie. And that's not true, because when I caught another bank that gave my records, they couldn't lie. They said, let me consult our legal people. That's when you know. And so that's something that the people could do. They could sue the crap out of Bank of America, Chase, and all of them, and then find memorandums of understanding and agreements with their banks and the feds and DHS. You think Twitter files is bad? Wait till we pull out the money. Patrick, it's going to be insane. All they have to do, one person who was there that has Bank of America could say, tell me, did you give my records to the FBI? And if they say yes, that's a lawsuit.
Well, what do you know about this? Has Bank of America voluntarily turned over information to the Bureau about its customers?
I don't know any of the specifics, so I'd have to look into that.
And so has the FBI requested similar information from any other companies, to your knowledge?
Again, sitting here right now, I do not know the answer to that question. I do know that we work with private sector partners, including financial institutions, in a variety of ways all the time in a variety of investigations. But exactly the specifics of what may or may not have happened here, that I don't know sitting here as we're talking today.
As I'm sure you can appreciate, my concern here is that 12 U.S.C. 3403 prohibits financial institutions from turning over confidential client records, unless, of course, they've got reasonable suspicion that there's a crime being committed. Now, the news reports on this have indicated that financial institutions were doing this in cooperation with the Bureau without any such indication of a crime. They're just turning over reams of consumer data. That obviously would be a major legal problem, a major legal concern. Can you try and get me some answers to these questions? I appreciate you say you don't know today, you're not aware of what's what's going on, but can you look into this and follow up with me on this?
I'd be happy to see if there's more information we can provide you on the subject. As I said, we have a variety of ways in which we engage with financial institutions in particular. And as you referenced, there's a number of legal authorities that describe when you can and cannot do that and how that's supposed to work. So I don't want to get out, as they say, over my skis and try to characterize what may have happened in a specific instance, but I'm happy to look into it and see if there's more information we can provide.